Have you heard of some of the great stories and the horror stories about property management? Are you wondering what all the hubba hubba is about when it comes to rentals? Being a landlord has a lot of benefits and it's a great tool for cash flow. However, rentals, it's an old industry, and nowadays it is required to have a rental to supplement your income and or retirement, and there's plenty of benefits to owning, so everyone in town seems to be talking about rentals. Now, on the flip side, the truth to owning rental properties is it's not always roses. There are some main things that cause landlords much amount of stress. Property management's like science. You have to take a boiling pot of water, mix all these things together like laws, vendors, contracts, showings, explaining things, updates, insurance, inspections, so on, so on, so on. And you have to balance all that to avoid the boiling pot of water from running out of water or overflowing, just to make a proper meal and make it actually work for yourself. One of the things that stress people out is tenant turnovers. Dealing with the tenant turnover, especially on a consistently basis, is listed as one of the most stressful things that people have to go through. Because every time it turns, you have to deal with repairs, organizing repairs, dealing with how the condition that they left it in, cleaning it, eviction, collecting from the prior tenant, screening for the next tenant, finding new tenants, the ads, getting the phone to ring. It's just a lot of stress, and all meanwhile the mortgage isn't getting paid and you're having to figure out how to pull it all off at the same time. Another one that's very stressful is chasing rent. If you end up with renters that are consistently late on their rent or struggle to pay rent at all, you'll end up stuck with spending a lot of time consistently trying to get that money from them. If your cash flow is tight, this mounts up to something really big and could cost you maybe one of your mortgage payments. On top of that, the time it takes to do an eviction and the legal pieces, it becomes overwhelming very fast. For most of us, we have busy lives with careers and families, so learning how to do collections isn't a real thing that we want to do. Another one is keeping up with current laws and regulations. As a landlord, you are responsible for keeping up laws and regulations that are there to protect you and the tenant. For example, fair housing, it's at the federal level, the state level, sometimes at the city level, so you have to memorize all of the levels so you don't have a violation. Now, RPM does these trainings ongoing all year long. Another one that's a painful part is being on call 24/7. When they make the phone call, you're at their beck and call. If pipes break and bust on Christmas Day, you get the call. If the garage door breaks at 4 a.m., you get the call. You get where I'm going. One time on Christmas Eve, my personal rental had an house explosion, and it was on Christmas Eve with Katrina victims. Can you imagine the stress that went through? Another and the most important one is that it's personal conflict with your personal goals in life. You're busy with families and you're busy with careers, and sometimes you just don't want to have those difficult conversations with tenants, and just that alone is very stressful. So sometimes you have good tenants, bad tenants, and it can stress you to the max on your levels. Now, hopefully these stories don't scare you about wanting to own a rental properties, because rental properties have plenty of benefits. But if you're stressed and you need some help, consider hiring a property management company. And just know that when things are going super smooth, that means they're doing their job very well. It's because the job isn't simple, it's because they're doing it well to make it look simple. As always, thanks for being a customer of Real Property Management.